The South African Revenue Service, or SARS, stands as a symbol of trust, tasked with collecting taxes and ensuring the nation's financial well-being. Yet recent events have shaken this foundation, revealing scams that have left taxpayers reeling from financial losses and betrayal. At the heart of this scandal lies the theft of 168 million rand by a SARS employee, a blatant act of corruption. This incident has also highlighted the systematic diversion of tax refunds into fraudulent accounts. Hard-working South Africans expecting their rightful refunds are victims of a sophisticated scam. These are not isolated incidents but point to a systemic failure demanding immediate attention. The question isn't just how much money has been stolen, but how many lives have been upended by this betrayal. The stories of these victims paint a stark picture of the human cost of this scam. They are teachers, nurses, entrepreneurs, and retirees, all united by the shared experience of having their hard-earned money stolen. The financial implications are devastating, pushing some into debt and delaying dreams. This crisis demands a thorough investigation into SARS, rooting out corrupt officials and implementing robust security measures. It requires greater transparency and accountability from both SARS and the banks involved, ensuring that victims receive the justice and support they deserve. The mechanics of the scam are deceptively simple yet ruthlessly effective, preying on the trust that taxpayers place in SARS. Individuals, after diligently filing their tax returns, provide their legitimate banking details expecting the funds to be deposited into their accounts. However, somewhere within SARS, their banking information is altered, replaced with details leading to fraudulent accounts. These fraudulent accounts, often opened with stolen or synthetic identities, become the final destination for the unsuspecting taxpayer's refund. The money is siphoned off into these phantom accounts, leaving the victims none the wiser until it's too late. The scheme appears to be orchestrated from within SARS itself, implying the involvement of corrupt officials. This manipulation of banking details points to a critical vulnerability within SARS's systems. The ease with which fraudulent accounts are linked to legitimate taxpayer profiles raises serious questions about the security protocols in place. The onus lies on both SARS and the financial institutions to strengthen their systems and close the loopholes that enable such scams to flourish. The human cost of this elaborate scam is best understood through the lived experiences of its victims. Jairaj Sathav, a 68-year-old pensioner, found himself robbed of his 37,000 rand tax refund. Despite approaching both SARS and Time Bank, he found himself caught in a bureaucratic nightmare with no clear resolution in sight. Kenuo Silongonyan, eagerly anticipating a 75,000 rand refund, was met with a different kind of shock. Only 35,000 rand landed in her account, deposited into an account she didn't recognize. Adding insult to injury, she then received a series of menacing SMSs from SARS, claiming she owed the agency over 39,000 rand. The emotional toll of this ordeal, coupled with the financial uncertainty, has left her feeling helpless and deeply distrustful of the institutions meant to protect her. These stories represent a collective trauma experienced by countless South Africans. The financial losses have far-reaching consequences, pushing some into debt and delaying retirement plans. The pervasiveness of these scams highlights the urgent need for a comprehensive response to bring the perpetrators to justice and compensate the victims. While SARS's role in this saga is undeniable, the involvement of certain banks, particularly Time Bank and Capitec, adds another layer of complexity. These institutions, known for their digital-first approach and commitment to financial inclusion, have inadvertently become conduits for fraudulent activities. Time Bank has admitted to opening accounts without biometric verification, aimed at making banking services accessible to a wider population. This has opened the door for fraudsters to create accounts using stolen or synthetic identities. Capitec has also been implicated, with several victims reporting their refunds being diverted to fraudulent Capitec accounts. The question remains, Are these banks prioritizing rapid growth and financial inclusion at the expense of robust security measures? Banks, as gatekeepers of the financial system, have a crucial role to play in preventing and detecting suspicious activities. A balance must be struck between accessibility and security, ensuring that both new and existing customers are protected from fraud. In the face of mounting evidence and heart-wrenching testimonies from victims, SARS's response has been disappointingly inadequate. The agency, while acknowledging the existence of fraudulent activities, maintains that its systems are secure and efficient. This assertion rings hollow in the ears of those who have lost their hard-earned money. SARS spokesperson Sifithi Sibeko has emphasized the organization's commitment to taxpayer confidentiality. This emphasis on confidentiality should not be a shield against transparency and accountability. Victims deserve to know what steps are being taken to recover their stolen funds and bring the perpetrators to justice. The silence from SARS regarding the alleged involvement of its own employees in these scams is particularly concerning. The unfolding SARS scam exposes systemic weaknesses that have allowed fraud to fester and flourish. These vulnerabilities, often born from outdated technology and insufficient security protocols, demand immediate attention and comprehensive reform. One glaring vulnerability lies in SARS's data security measures. The ease with which fraudsters have accessed and altered taxpayer information suggests a lack of robust cybersecurity protocols. Another area of concern is the apparent lack of rigorous verification processes, both within SARS and at certain financial institutions. The fact that fraudulent accounts can be opened with relative ease highlights a critical flaw in the system. Perhaps the most concerning aspect is the potential for internal corruption within SARS. The alleged involvement of SARS employees in facilitating the diversion of tax refunds points to a deeply troubling possibility. Addressing these systemic weaknesses is essential for the long-term viability and credibility of SARS. Investing in robust cybersecurity measures and fostering a culture of transparency and accountability are crucial steps in the right direction. The unfolding SARS scam has left a trail of devastation, impacting countless South Africans and eroding public trust. The victims deserve more than just empty promises. They deserve swift action and meaningful accountability. The first step towards justice lies in holding those responsible accountable for their actions. This includes conducting a thorough investigation into both the internal workings of SARS and the role of external actors. Those found guilty of corruption or negligence must face the full force of the law. Equally important is the need to provide adequate support and restitution to the victims. This includes reimbursing their stolen funds and addressing the emotional and financial distress they have endured. SARS must prioritize strengthening its cybersecurity infrastructure and implementing robust verification protocols. The organization needs to regain the trust of the South African public through concrete actions. The time for complacency is over. The time for accountability and reform is now.